This video is an extract from an interview where an art professional shares their top tips for artists. Thanks for watching, and we hope you enjoy this video. Hi, Helen!
Hello, hi everybody.
So Helen is the founder of an art consultancy called The Art Buyer, which is an online sort of gallery and boutique, which is all about making art friendly and accessible to new buyers as well as established collectors. Okay, so Helen, I'm going to ask you the million-dollar question that a lot of artists have. Where do you look for new artists that fit within the remit of your gallery or your art consultancy?
Very happy to answer. So I think it's a mix of in real life and online. So in terms of how I find the artists, it could be that I found them via Instagram. It is such a wonderful platform for being able to scroll and just going, wow, that is phenomenal. And when I find somebody like that, I will screen grab them and I'll save them into a folder. I might save that image into a folder specifically for a client who I'm looking work for, or I save it for, let's say, the next gallery space, or I just have it there in my camera roll because something about it grabbed me. But what I wanted to say is that I'm always watching, not in a scary way, in a good way, are constantly open. And the online side of things is mostly Instagram. If I then am really interested, I will then go to the artist's website if I can, and I'll have a real snoop around, where have you been showing, what have you been doing? And I'll really do a deep dive, and I've saved that information. In real life, I go to brilliant art fairs. For example, the Other Art Fair is fantastic, which I go to the London edition, and I really love that one because it's the artists that are showing, and it has such a great feel. It's what I think the art world should be. It's relaxed, it's informal, it's got a buzz to it, but there's no pressure. And I just love meeting the artists themselves. But in addition to the Other Art Fair, I go to prizes and awards and shows. So for example, the ING Discerning Eye Award. I also love the Royal Academy Summer Exhibition. I love that rare thing in that space of the hallowed halls where it could be a complete beginner right up next to a Tracy Emin or a David Hockney. But I love the fact that in such a prestigious institution, you can actually buy something. And I just think that's magic. I don't always go there to buy anymore, but I'm always there with my notebook underlining. I would also say the open studios are fantastic, so I tend to go at least a few times a year to various open studios. And if I really like an artist's work, I'll ask them to invite me to their studio. But sometimes people proactively invite me to their studios, and if I can, I absolutely will. So yeah, a real mix of online, which if I'm honest is predominantly Instagram, and real life, getting out to fairs and shows and open studios.
What type of work do you showcase in the gallery and online? Is there a particular kind of media style, price point, maybe?
So it's contemporary artists, living UK artists, and I am drawn towards what is known as the affordable art market. That said, I noticed that the Affordable Art Fair itself has put what the definition of affordable is up to about £10,000 in its latest edition. And I can say that the average client I work with, sadly, but completely normally, doesn't tend to consider £10,000 to be affordable. But there's a huge breadth within what I've shown over the last 3 years. Typically, you would find each of the key genres, whether that's still lifes, seascapes, figurative, abstract, and so on. I show emerging to mid-career artists. I tend to not really follow, if there are any rule books, I haven't read them. I basically write my own, and I very much I'm about energy and passion and joy and instinct, very much about instinct. And I believe that's how people should buy and choose their art as well.
So what sort of price range are we talking? Is it low hundreds to 1,000 or 2,000?
So it's higher than that, probably at the upper end. Yeah, starting at any price point. I show limited edition prints that I like to have some slightly more accessible pieces because I think it's really important that anybody and everybody feels welcome to come into the gallery. But going up to probably around £3,000 to £4,000, a really popular price point in terms of what appeals and what sells well would be probably between about 800 to about £2,000 has been a really successful and typical price point for me in my physical gallery so far.
Do you find there's a difference online and maybe people are a bit shyer, or do you find that it's the same in terms of what they're prepared to invest?
Online, I have been constantly surprised. It's like it's a creature of its own and a land of its own. I have found there's been changes over the last few years. The thing that constantly surprises me is that people are prepared to spend a reasonably significant amount of money on a piece of art they've never seen before. I would say there is no average price point in terms of what's been selling online, because it could be anything from a limited edition print up to really large glazed framed works. And I've shipped to America, I've shipped to Holland. In terms of the maximum price point I've sold online, probably 2,500 for a single piece. What's more typical? It is hard to say what's typical. Probably around £1,000-ish. But I have found that online sales have gone up, then gone quiet, then gone up, then gone quiet. I'm sure we've all experienced similar, which is why I think it's a really important thing to have additional opportunities for people to find us as well.
Thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch the full 1-hour interview and get top tips from an expert, then click the link below and join the Art Ladder mentoring program now. By joining the Art Ladder, you will get access to our full library of webinars with curators, collectors, critics, gallerists, and more. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos like this, and check out the description below for more free resources for artists.